Good afternoon, Miss Aisha. Today I'm presenting about the theory of projectile. I'm Jamin from class P03 and this is my admin number. Second slide will be 2D projectile game. A 2D projectile refers to the motion of an object that is launched into the air and is subject only to the force of gravity and air resistor. Below is the formula of projectile motion. There are horizontal motion, we have vertical motion, maximum height, time of flight, as well as the range for calculation. Next slide is how the game is implemented in projectile. This game is implemented can use for a shooting game, like example, object with an object playing with a cube as a shooter and a gun as a spear to shoot together, something like that. Next is the main problem of projectile. The movement of there are 3 points of movement of projectile. The main problem of projectile, they are the moving, the shooting, and the direction of the projectile. Moving is how we can move onwards or upwards. Shooting is how we can shoot towards it or shoot further, and how the direction move when you started playing the game. This two is the image, example of the image. Next will be how it is worked in game. As projectile initialization, the game set out the initial condition for the projectile, including its starting position, initial velocity, launch angle, and any other relevant parameters. This parameter can be influenced by the player's input and the characteristic of the in-game projectile. There are physics simulation, theory calculation, the game engine physics system simulates the projectile motion, simplify kinetic equation to calculate the trajectory over time. Lastly will be the collision detection, as the game continues check for collision between the projectile and other game elements. For example, if the projectile hits an enemy, it may trigger a damage event. This slide is what does projectile means in game. For collision detection, a projectile has hit a target or an obstacle in the game environment. Physics simulation is depending on how the level moves, how the level of the game moves, and how the game object or the physics simulation and how the air resistance, wind, and other environmental conditions would take in the game itself. Lastly will be the damage calculation, how when a projectile hits a target by points, how the game typically calculate the damage inflicted, and how this may depend on factors like the type of projectile, how the distance traveled, as well as how the characteristic of the goal target will win the game, for example. This slide is referred to this previous slide of the image and the example of the movement of projectile mean in a game. The last slide will be, these are the example of projectile in a game which can be used in Unity, for example. Can use for in a game, firing a canal, throwing a basketball in a basket, sneezing, traveling through archery, water skating, a house, car and bikes, and golf ball, this show as well as lastly gunfire. And that's all for the theory slide. Now I will show you the next I will show you the example for Unity implementation. Okay, this is the example that I made. this is a gun, and this is the hospital, and this is the bullet, for example, for you to shoot. A simple game. That's all. I come to the end of the presentation. Thank you.